Hi everyone, it's Veladay. In case you don't know, I do write paranormal romance. Today I decided that I was going to attempt to debunk the concept of Kindle Unlimited. Now, the few times I've said, oh, guess what? One of my books is on Kindle Unlimited, the person would respond, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't joined that program. And I'm like, you don't have to be a member of Kindle Unlimited to buy my books on Amazon. And I think that's where the disconnect comes. Hi, Deb. Hi, Veronica. Thanks for joining me. So first let me say, I have been in Kindle Unlimited for about 4 months. I was in like 3 years ago for a little bit before it got crazy. And so my knowledge is based on just new information. And I am not a Kindle Unlimited reader. I do not pay the $9.99 a month to, hi Robin, to be able to borrow books for free on Kindle Unlimited. And the whole program has been changing pretty dramatically over the time being. Way in the beginning, 10 years ago, whenever it started, Kindle Unlimited readers could pay a fixed fee and get 2 books a month. Well, of course, that's pretty ridiculous. Why would you want 2 books? Because for whatever amount of money, you could just buy the books. And they were actually giving people $4 a book, which is outrageous. And even if it was a 99-cent book, so of course people were, pumping their books in Kindle Unlimited. Amazon is a business that got smart, and over the years it changed it so that we got page reads. Now, what does that really mean? What does it do for an author? What does it do for a reader? How have scammers been able to scam the whole system? Who gets hurt, etc.? Of course, I really don't know. Why? Because Amazon won't tell anybody. I don't even think if you work for Amazon would you totally know. I think they keep everything as a need-to-know basis. So this is just my observation. Now, mind you, math teacher, majored in statistics for a while. I love numbers. And so I watch numbers probably more than anyone else does. Out of curiosity, I'd love to know, how many of you ever look at the rankings of a book before you buy it? Curious to know. And even if you do look at the rankings, do you really have any idea what those rankings mean and how they got to be there? If you've ever looked, and I'd love to know your answers, if you ever look at the top 100 anything, paranormal, contemporary, whatever the topics are, cozy mysteries, do you notice that most of them are Kindle Unlimited books? And I'd like to explain a little bit why. And I thought of a cool analogy. If you were a real estate broker and someone introduced you to Mary, and Mary said, oh, my husband and I have just moved to the area and we want to buy a home. Of course, your eyes would open. Oh, I'm a real estate broker. I can show you a home. And you say, what are you looking for in a home? She may rattle off a few things. And the broker's thinking in her mind, what do I have listed? Not what does Betty or Sally or Mary have listed that I know would be perfect. What do I have listed? And of course she's going to show this friend all of her listings first. And then if they don't work out, she'll go to Mary and Sally's and whatever's others listing, hoping to get some profit. That's what Amazon does. Amazon gets money from their Kindle Unlimited because people pay them, readers, $9.99 a month for authors to put the books in Kindle Unlimited, so of course they're going to pimp them out more. Secondly, assuming you're aware, every book in Kindle Unlimited, we have to sign terms of service. We cannot put our book anywhere else, anywhere. We can't sell them on Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Google, or on our own website. No. So once it goes in Amazon, they have complete control. They decide how much they're going to pay us for page reads. We'll get back to scamming in a moment. Now, if a book, naturally you'd love to have your book sit at number one, meaning you're rich. Number one book is obviously the best number. Bad numbers, higher they go. 500,000 might mean you sell 2 books a month. 1 million might mean you sell a book 1 time a month. I'm not really, can't be certain because it depends on what's happened in the past, yada yada. If you move into Kindle Unlimited, all things are off. In other words, if you sell a book, your ranking goes down, down, like towards number 1. Maybe you think that's up. I always get it backwards. It goes towards the good way, to number 1. If anyone borrows your book, your ranking goes down. You don't get any money, but your ranking goes down. It makes you look good. It makes you maybe even get on the top 100 list. Hi, Elizabeth. If you have anyone read your book, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now your ranking goes down. Now, that being said, it goes down the fastest, the best, if people buy the book. Secondly, if people read the book, it goes down. And lastly, if people borrow the book. But all of those takes your ranking and makes it better and better and better and better. So if you see a book sitting at 20,000 and it's in KU, it's even possible no one's even bought the book. All they've done is borrowed it, which is not a bad thing. But if you have a short book, you don't get much money. Every month, Kindle decides how much they're going to pay you. We don't know. I've only been in 4 months, but I was in 3 years ago, and they paid a lot more. Now they pay and this is public knowledge, 0.0045 cents a page, which is about not even a half of a cent a page. So if your book is 50 pages, you might get a quarter if someone reads the whole book. So you probably want to put in books that are longer if you happen to have them. And you'll make more money that way. Now, it doesn't mean the books are good or bad. Sometimes page reads can bring, a lot of my friends, they make more money on page reads than they do the book itself. But at least you know people are reading your book. And Amazon has a little sweet deal, which I'm sure I'll never get to. The top 10 authors who have the most page reads get, are you listening to this? A bonus. You know how much they get paid? $25,000 a month if you're in the top 10 of page reads. Now, how many page reads does that constitute? Maybe 400,000 page reads a day, which would mean you're not only making $1,600 to $1,800 a day, but also $25,000 at the end. Me, I'll be honest, I have about 6,000 page reads a day. I'm happy, but 600,000 is not 400,000. 6 versus 400, yeah, ain't gonna happen. They do pay, the next 10 tier get like 10,000 a month, and then like it goes down to like the top 50 actually get like $100 or something. They do get bonuses. So they want people to have page reads. Okay, so if you care, obviously from the comments, most of you don't care about the page reads. I mean about the ranking of a book, which is fine because it's almost meaningless. And also, almost all the books at the bottom are KU books. So if you are wide, you can't even get in the top 100. I can't say you can't. There are a few books, if you look at certain categories, where non-KU people are in the bottom 100, and the top 100 books. But it's really hard to get there, so the KU people have sort of pushed the wide people out of the way. So at some point I decided, if you can't beat them, join them. So I decided to put in my older series, my Menage, which I don't write anymore, my contemporary. I am going to be putting in my Montana Promises, which is part Menage, part MF, into Kindle Unlimited in May, I believe. I'm getting pressure by some to put in my Wheres and Witches and my Hidden Realms, but I don't want to do that. I like being wide. I don't want to rely just on Amazon. It's you're dependent on them for how much money they're going to give you, and every month they give you less and less and less. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. If your books are reviewed, does that change the ranking? I don't know. I do know, I think that is probably true. I do know that if I want to get a BookBub, which is the coveted advertisement, I absolutely have to have reviews. And a lot of people look at reviews. And Tammy, I totally agree. They do need to have two categories, top KU and non-KU. That's brilliant. Of course, that would be like asking the real estate broker to promise to list her listings as well as everyone else's and let the person decide, let the best man win. Probably isn't going to happen. What's fair is not going to do that. But thank you, Elizabeth. Always reviewing, that's the best thing you can do. I do believe reviews do help with the ranking, and the purpose of getting a good ranking is if you get in the top 100, whether it's in your category or overall. Never seen that number, but if I ever did, then more people see you, and then more chance to buy more. So it's the phrase of the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. So if you sell a lot, then people see more of you. And nowadays it's all about visibility, not so much about, thank you, Robin, reviewing too, that's fantastic. It's not so much about, is the book great? It's more about who has more exposure. And KU can get you millions of readers to look at your book. And even if they just open it up and read it, that's wonderful. Now, a little bit about scamming. This is what I've heard. I have not happened to me. People, they know that if someone starts on page 1, if they get to page 250 at the end, then Amazon counts that as a page read and the author gets read. Some people pay click farms, and I've seen pictures of them. There are hundreds of women in Asia, and they just sit there with the books and just go click, 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 click. They don't read it. They just move it down so that the pages are read. Now, more importantly, or worst case, is they have a little link at the top. For a chance to win $100, click here. And it takes them to the bottom. So now it looks like the book has been read. And then they say, oh, I'll enter. Of course, probably $100 is never given away, or maybe it is. And so they're sort of fooled into scrolling down to the end of the book. Then, to make things worse for us who are legitimately giving books out, Amazon, of course, ignores all this, and I don't know why. I lost my train of thought. Maybe I need something to drink. So the scammer people are really making it more difficult. Oh, I know. What some authors have done, and I think this is unconscionable, they sell you a book, 99 cents. They don't care about the author. I mean, they put their books up, and they don't care about the sale. They don't care about the sale price itself. They care about the page reads, and then they put another book at the end, and then another book, and maybe they have 5 short stories that they've written, and they stuff them at the end of the book. And then people, they'd have to read it, or else they just go click, 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 click. I don't like that book. Let me get to the next one. Or if there's a table of contents, maybe they click one at the end. I don't know how that works. Anyway, the book, one friend who was not on, she had to visit her mom today. She bought a book. She's not in KU. Got the book, and it was like 35 pages long. It was supposed to be 300. Well, it was like 10 more short stories. But she thought she bought a long, involved story that would have a good plot. No, it was just little short stories, which the Paddock books are just absolutely terrible. I do put the first chapter of the next book there, hoping to entice you, but that's all I put in. And that's perfectly legitimate. I'm not the type who doesn't go to Walmart because I hate big business and they treat their people badly. I know I'm probably a bad person for that. But, well, because the only store we have here is Walmart. And they do employ, I swear, 10% of the whole town. So to me, Amazon in Costa Rica and Liberia is like wonderful. But a lot of people don't like the big people, the Amazon and the Apples. And that's kind of why I sort of decided to sell my books myself. And by the way, I have coupons on my site. You can pay with Apple Pay or with PayPal or credit card. It's very, very safe. And soon I'm going to be adding Amazon Pay. So you just click, all your information's already in Amazon, you click and you go. So I kind of wanted to avoid the big business because I really do hate sometimes what Amazon is doing. People are finding more and more ways to cheat the system, and I think that's reprehensible, but I think it takes too much effort on Amazon's part to do it. You know, the only way to solve the problem is no one buy on Amazon, and then Amazon may change their tune, but of course, I don't know, it probably is going to happen. Amazon also started, and I don't know what this is, a preview mode. I don't know whether it comes on in your mail and you can click on it, but if you read the book in preview mode, we don't get a penny. Well, of course, Amazon would like that, wouldn't they? They wouldn't have to pay anybody for the book. So if you are reading anything in preview mode, please don't. Again, I don't even know what preview mode is. I think it has something to do with, you know, being on your computer or in your mail system. I really don't know. But things going on behind the scene are really reprehensible, but of course we have nothing to do. So you might say, okay, authors, all of you need to leave KU. Well, I just started in KU because I do make more money in KU. But I don't want to support all of them. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. If I'm indie, I want to be indie, and if you're with Amazon, I kind of feel like you're giving in to Big Brother. And, you know, is it true that eBay wants to compete with Amazon selling authors' books? That I have no idea. I would be leery we'd get paid. I kind of found that the perfect solution was for me to sell my books on my own site and then split the difference with you. I give you a commission. Now, by the way, when I put my books, if I put a 99-cent book on Amazon, I get paid 35 cents. Not great, but Amazon gets to keep all the money. And whether it's in KU or not, I get paid 35 cents a book. If it's a larger book like $3.99, I'll get like $2.50. But it's still, that's a $3.99 book. But they're still making 30% on the money. Now, that being said, when I sell the book online, I don't get to keep all the money either. When you buy, if you go through PayPal, then I have to pay I think it's a 30-cent commission and 3% of the cost of the item. If it's through credit card, I pay the same thing. Apple Pay, no, I don't know about Apple Pay. Thank you, Elizabeth. But I want to share, I want to split the cost with you. I want to make at least as much money as Amazon, but I have expenses too to pay for you to be able to have the security of the credit card system that's secure, the PayPal, the Apple Pay, and hopefully in 2 months, the Amazon Pay, though again, it's Amazon. I don't know what their fees are going to be. And now, it's no cost to you. I mean, if I say the cost of my book is, a $3.99 book is, $3.60 or something, or $2 or whatever, then you don't pay anything. I'm the one who's paying the upfront cost. As a matter of fact, I'm putting out on the 13th, small plug, a 3 romantic suspenses that are 90 to 95,000 words each. They're really, really good. I can't put them down. I just read them all through and hopefully got rid of all the stupid typos. And they're all $4.99 books because they're long, but I'm selling them only for 7 days, because as soon as they go on KU, I can't sell them. So I'm selling the first one for 99 cents. That's an 80% discount. The next one is going to be 60% discount, the last one a 40% discount. And if you buy the box set, it's half off. It's for, I think, $3.99 instead of $8.99. So you get a $5 discount. I want to give my readers a break. And I think it's only fair if you're going to switch from one to the other. But most people aren't selling their books online because it took me 3 weeks and 1.5 billion questions to do that. Bye, Lisa. My Pilates teacher from Tampa. It's online, but she had to come back. She has company. And so it's a very convoluted business. It takes a lot of work. Writing the book, not a problem. It's all the editing, which I actually do like the editing a lot. But just setting up things of selling them, setting up the carts, figuring out how to track things, to make certain everything's good. I have to do the back end. I do everything through BookFunnel. BookFunnel is wonderful. Most people know how to upload their books from BookFunnel, and they have a tremendous support system. And if you lose the link the first time, I send you another reminder email. Don't forget, here's the link so you have it in your email. And I also give a few free books away each time you buy a book, the same ones because I don't have that many books. But the Kindle Unlimited, back to the Kindle Unlimited thing, it has its pros and cons. For someone on a fixed income, absolutely. $9.99 for a month, you get all these books. It's really, really good. Some people only put their backlists in Kindle Unlimited. Other people put their front list in, like they'll sell it wide for 2 or 3 weeks, a month. Then they'll put them in KU. Some people, and I think this is sort of unfair, someone said, why don't you put the first book wide and then after 2 months put it in KU? Okay. Second book comes out, put it on Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, then put it in KU. Well, what happens to the poor Apple, Kobo, Google, Barnes & Noble people who come in when it's book 5 and they can't find 4, 3, 2, or 1? That's not fair to them. I'm not going to do that. I think to me, it's wrong. If you build a rapport with the reader, you have a kind of a contract to keep with them. But again, there are pros and cons. So I kind of like to keep my new stuff out because then I can sell it at a discount. Again, if it's in KU, I can't touch it. If I want to do promos on the stuff I have total control. When I'm in KU, I'm allowed to do once every 90 days, I can put a book free. Once in every 90 days. I can run to Kindle Countdown, like make it $4.99 or $99 a day later, $1.99, day later $2.99, the $3.99, $4.99. Tried it, not exactly fantastic. The free one works if you buy other marketing to pimp it out. People then get, oh, I didn't know who this person was. Let me go buy some more stuff. So I struggle with my conscience as to what to do. So I've just decided backlist that's not quite I want to keep my shifter stuff that's not Menage out wide because that's me. And the other stuff is something different. I don't mind putting it in KU. And again, I will make more money, especially if it's 2 or 3 years old, in KU. So many people are drawn to the dollars. And yes, I'd like them, but Amazon can tomorrow decide we're going to give you 1/10 of a cent for a page read. okay, what can you do? And then if you try to go wide, you don't have that audience. So yeah, honestly, I probably would do KU too, if you can find the books that you want. And more authors are putting even their front list in. I know Mark Dawson, I don't know if you ever heard of him, he writes thrillers. He has an 11-book series. He's one of the ones who will make the $25,000 a month bonus because he sells that much. But he decided to put the first 6 books of his 11-book series in KU for 90 days, and then he'll take them out. So there's that. Some people in KU, I think you can't keep your book, Elizabeth, once you've read it. Do you have to give it back before you read another one? Because since you're in KU, I'm uncertain quite how that works. Some people buy the book then because they want to keep it. A few might even buy the paperback if they love that too. I'm good either way. Buy it, don't buy it, borrow it, whatever. I just want you to read me because I've spent all this time writing the books. So I have no problem with people in KU. I think it's great. I just think it's different for different people. Some people put all of their books, most of the paranormal authors have their books in KU. And again, they price them for 99 cents because they don't care really about, 10 at a time, that's what I thought. So if you can keep 10, fine, but some people like to reread books, and I guess you can then, so you have to return them. Then can you borrow them again? I guess if you want to reread them. The author has more than once. Okay, does not count for the author more than once. Oh, right. Oh, I know that if you reread them again, it doesn't count. That I totally get. And I totally understand that. That's perfectly fine. You get a one-shot deal. I understand that business model quite well. We all grapple with this, and all my friends talk about KU or not to KU. Again, the paranormal authors are really big into Kindle Unlimited, and they set their prices at 99 cents. I don't. So it's a 60, 70,000 word book, and I price them at $3.99, and that's fair, but I'm not going to compete with the 99-cent book, because even if you're not a Kindle Unlimited person, anybody can buy the books. Just because they're in KU doesn't mean you can't buy the books for yourself on Amazon, and a lot of people kind of misunderstand that. So again, it's a catch-22. I'm hoping that you'll give me more feedback what you think. I hope it was a little bit enlightening as to what we go through. And there's no easy solution, and I don't know the solution. Again, we can put them in for 90 days and then take them out. But we do sign a contract for those 90 days. The book is theirs. So I'm still on the fence. Many of the KU books are free or 99 cents. Because if you put a book that is free, why not try to get the page reads? But I don't want to put my first book in a series in KU. Well, then you can't make it free. You have to make it 99 cents. And then someone in non-Amazon is going to buy book 2. What happened to book 1? So, they can pay the 99 cents. It's just, I don't think everybody wants to go to Amazon, and so it's really kind of tricky. But leaving reviews, I think people do look at the reviews. I do. I want to see them. If they're all 1-star reviews, I probably wouldn't buy the book. I have like 2 books where my book is reviewed and they say it's a product. I have like 40 5-star reviews that say this product worked really well. I wasn't certain. I don't think it says it washes the floors, but I didn't know if it would do what it said, but it really did. They're not talking about a book. And so Amazon has gotten so messed up, putting different reviews in the wrong spots, losing reviews, etc. Nadine, my future neighbor, hi. I have heard that the reviews are being taken down by some people, and I've heard that you need to buy a certain amount of your books. So in other words, if let's say all of your books come to you via ARCs, great, we love ARC readers, and they've read the books and they leave their review and they're wonderful. They leave them on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google, Goodreads. I love those people. But eventually, Amazon will say, I think, they take the reviews down, which some people are banned from reviewing on Amazon. And I've heard two reasons why, but one of them now they're saying you have to buy a certain number of books before you can do many ARCs. True or not, I do not know. Also, if I copy and paste a link from one of my books and put it up on Facebook, buy my book. Well, if you look at the link, this is probably maybe too technical. If you look at the link, it's yay long on Amazon. Everything past those big boldface numbers and digits, that's just coding for them to see who did you send it to, etc. So I delete it. And that way they can't tell that you're clicking on a link that I gave you. And that then prevents your review from taken down from my site. But not every reviewer, here's my microphone, not every reviewer is aware of that. I mean, every author is aware of that. So there are ways around it. But we would love to know how to keep the reviews up there, what's causing it, and even if we figured it out, tomorrow I'm convinced that Amazon will say something. Yes, it says Amazon says if you have Facebook linked, they'll take down your review from the site. But that's because the link that you used on Facebook has all that metadata at the end. If the author removes the metadata, then they can't tell. So I have removed, I went to it, for those of you who are authors, I went to a YouTube video or something and said how to decode Amazon links. And they very clearly showed you where you delete up to. And maybe down here I'll put a link that I have and then an unedited link. And you'll see where I stopped. You can click on both of them and they'll both take you to the same site, but they won't know what you do. It is true every once in a while, you should, if you do ARCs for a lot of people, you should buy a book now and then just to help you out. Yes, thank you, Deb. It says you should not have Goodreads and Amazon linked together either. I don't do anything on Goodreads per se, so I wouldn't know, so I will take that as truth if Deb said it. Because I know that Amazon owns Goodreads and Facebook now owns Instagram. So all the biggies are buying and you really, really have to be careful. So without further ado, just think about when you see it's Kindle Unlimited, Amazon has pushed it better in the rankings. It does not necessarily mean they sell more books. It just means it possibly has more visibility. So I thank you guys. Let me know again if you have any suggestions for next week, but I'm sure I'll come up with something. If you like more of the inside scoop stuff, I'm sure I can come up with it. So until next Saturday, see you guys later and happy reading. Bye.